Hello! Hey, my name is Joel and this is Have You Seen This? Where my brother Mark gives me a movie to watch and I'll do a review about it. So last week, Mark, you gave me American Splendor to watch. A movie with a very interesting background. I will try to explain how this movie came about, but it is really complicated, so bear with me. So there's a man, Harvey Picard, who exists in the real world. He at some point started to write comics about himself, not draw them, but write them and have someone else draw them, about his life himself. So he was the main character. He was not some kind of a superhero, he was not in some kind of fantasy world. It was him in his real life with real stuff. Just normal, everyday struggles of a normal American man. This comic, though, became very popular and many more were made after that. There was also a theater piece made after it, and then at some point a movie, which is what I watched. The movie is also about his life and about how these cartoons came about. And you can imagine that it's kind of hard to get all of this into a movie and still have it make sense, because it's kind of hard to juggle with all of that information. And still, I think the director went even a bit further and made it even more complicated, throwing in movie within, or story within story, or storytelling method within storytelling method, and putting in some scenes where he was drawn like a cartoon, and then just snap, he wasn't anymore, he was in his real life. And sometimes he would use the actor, Steve Buscemi, to play Harvey Picard, and sometimes the actual Harvey Picard, and sometimes the actual people that lived with him and had something to do with his life, like his wife and one of his best friends.
It's my perspective, gloom and doom.
And see, I thought I was marrying somebody with a sense of humor.
So there's a lot of different levels to this movie, and I think it's really hard to be able to get this over to someone who's watching it and still have it make sense. But I do think the movie really was able to do that. I have to say I enjoyed every second of it. It was a really nice movie. This is really something I like. I think so many things could have gone wrong here, but they planned it out perfectly, and they really brought out what this movie is supposed to be. And I do have to give a shout out to Paul Giamatti, who did just an amazing work at portraying this guy, and even with the voice, I imagine that was supposed to be very hard, because he always, Harvey Picard always had a very raspy voice. He had trouble with his vocal cords, and thus always sounded like he just was screaming the whole day, and that's why he sounded very raspy.
Oh, what do you think? That's what I get paid for.
So, because this was a true story, I thought I would give you true story as well. Not a true story, but the movie True Story. So it's again a movie with James Franco. I hope the same thing's not gonna happen again as it did with Your Highness. This time it's a serious movie with Jonah Hill and James Franco, which sounds like it would be some kind of a stoner or comedy movie, but it's not. It's an actual based on a true story, and a very interesting movie as well. I hope you have fun with that movie, and I will see you next week. Bye!